Here also a reference to the Panda Bear guy, if you know the infamous Panda Bear guy from GOM TV when he was casting on Destination back in the day with Brood War.
Well, welcome back, guys. This is the other semifinals match here in the winners bracket for the Starbow Ladder Cup Season 2. Spawning here in the top right corner of the map. These guys we got to see a lot of last season. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was the one Franscar finished top, right? He was number 1?
Yes, he got the whole thing.
Yeah, because remember we had him in those show matches versus the Axiom guys, and he played against Innovation even. But spawning here in the top right corner of the map, the green Zerg player currently, it is Franscar.
Franscar also donated his entire winnings to this tournament. That's why we have a $400 prize pool, to be honest. So I just want to shout out to him for that as well. Him and the Red Bandit both donated their winnings. So we only needed like $50 more to get back to 400 again. So that was easy peasy. In the bottom left corner, that's how left and right works. Also from Team Bestest Friends, his name is Schapism.
Okay. You can't point because we don't have cameras. Explain left from right. How would you differentiate the two?
If you are facing north, then left is west. Is that okay?
How can you assume someone knows north if they don't know left and right?
Well, you can look at where the sun goes up and down.
Okay,
which
way's north right now for me then?
Well, what's your time? What's your time? Oh, you're in the morning. So look at the sun. Where's the sun?
I can't. I'm inside a room with no windows.
Oh, okay, that's a shame. Yeah, then you'll have to Google it.
Google, which way is left? Like, what the fuck?
I'm sure you'll find it.
All right, so I don't know a lot about Schapism. Do you have any cool stories? This guy like prominent up and comer. I mean, he's on the clan BFFFFFF. So I mean, I assume he's decent.
I kind of do, but I don't want to spoil something. So yeah, this was actually a tough one. He's a really good player. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
He doesn't like to play TVT. He doesn't like to play TVT. I'm trying to think. He's a B rank on the Starbow ladder. And he's going for a medic first? What?
Get that energy up, man. Get that energy up.
Okay, there we go, Reaper. So he's gonna go for a Reaper opening versus Franscar. We actually were really close to patching the game before this tournament, but we chose not to because everything wasn't ready and we wanted to make sure there was no like bugs from the patch. But there's actually quite a bit of changes incoming. And the Reaper is going to probably be changed a little bit actually as well, but I'm not going to get too much into that now, but I don't even know why I brought it up, sorry.
Thank you, good casting my friend.
You're welcome.
It's nice that we're going to get to see some bio, and I'm really excited to see the new medics. I was reading the patch notes with the defense matrix being a lot more cost efficient to use now, so hopefully we get to see a bit of that.
Yeah, well, they also have blind now, which is almost never used, but I just saw a game. It was Dirty Bag versus versus Tasteless. And Tasteless had like a 2 Reaver drop, and Dirty Bag had made 1 medic just to blind the War Prism. It was glorious.
I like that.
Oh, they were like completely useless 2 Reavers in a War Prism. Oh, it was great.
Alright, small thing to respond to as the enrage goes down. Reaper's gonna try and back away. Someone says, I feel like Riffian hasn't been streaming a lot lately. That wouldn't be incorrect. Zombie and I were at MLG Anaheim for the last week, so it was about 5 days no streaming. Then the last 2 days we've been casting Copa America, which is not on Base Trade TV, but on the Copa America cast. So we've been busy casting. We did a show match, Copa America back to back. Guys, we're back in the swing of things, don't worry.
By the way, one thing I really want to see you do sometime is Impact versus Ryong. I think those are the 2 best, because they didn't get to play each other in the show match that you had, and I think those are the 2 best on Team Axiom. So, I'll see if we can get some money together for that.
That could be really cool. I know Impact is like Crank is not happy with Impact's playstyle for Starbow.
No, not at all. Oh, Crank was so mad at Hydras and said they were imba. And well, to be honest, we actually have changed a couple of things since the last patch about Zealous and Hydras, but it's very hard to notice. And it's one of those stats that you don't never see really change. But there's stats in StarCraft 2 in the editor called backswings and damage points, which are really interesting stats that we've been messing around with to make micro melee units a little bit better. But it's kind of hard to explain actually. If we have some time, I guess we have some time. I'll try to explain. A backswing is how much time a unit freezes after it's done a melee attack.
It's like the cooldown, sort of.
Yeah, but the unit, like, so all the melee units in Starbow now has a little bit of a backswing. So once the Zergling hits a unit, it freezes for a second before it can move again. This makes scouting a lot easier, because it hits a worker, but then the worker keeps moving and the Zergling stops, and then all the workers except for SCVs regenerate a little bit as well. So one Zergling killing a worker just takes forever now, so the scouting is easier. He's just gonna let that Overlord live? It's... Oh no, wow, I'm just blind. No, oh,
You can't
never
see
mind.
it, so...
Cliff levels, yeah, wow.
Yeah. Well, he's pushing
not
pretty hard here. A couple lanes do slip by, but this is nothing that a couple lanes are he's going to deal with. But this push has got fire bats, it's got stimpak, it's got medics. This is going to be a little bit rough. There's some spine crawlers down, a couple hydras to hold. I don't think Schapism is going to necessarily win the game outright with this push, but he's going to do a lot of damage.
He's at least going to force out a lot of defense. I don't know if he wants to commit to attack into 3 spine crawlers. He's actually going to go check for expansions instead. He might just pick off this Overlord. By the way, another huge crucial thing that changed in the last patch is that Zerglings now have the exact values as they did in Brood War, including Adrenal Glands. So they're incredibly strong.
Well,
Just throwing that out
Cracklings were
there.
already pretty strong in Starbow to begin with.
Yes, we might have overdone that one, but the Zerglings...
Holy crap! Why are these minerals? Sorry, these minerals are like so bright. They're like making the medics and the marines turn blue. What the fuck? Sorry. Continue.
I
ADD.
have no idea what you're talking about, but yeah, I think I can relate to ADD. Anyhow, so we have Franscar coming back. No, don't open up. Okay, there we go. Yeah, he's gonna try and do some shenanigans with the Zerglings, but he has to be. Ooh, he's gonna try and pick up a couple of firebats. They're out of position from the rest of the army, and that's very nice pick off for Franscar. Those firebats are so important to hold off Zerglings now, as they have been buffed.
He killed the animal. You're not supposed to target the beasts. You're supposed to target the Zerglings.
There's so many of them, though.
Oh, I wish I had a ref right now. All chat. I'd just be like, why you kill innocent animals? One marine left behind is going to try and shell away this, but it's going to get cleaned up. This does, losing the Hellbats was more than just a good pickoff. I'd say it's a crucial pickup because 2 Hellbats on any choke, that wins against the Lings just outright. You put them in the right position, there's no way Lings engage into that. He's going to see a couple of these Lurkers, tries to get on top of them, of course, too late. Lurkers, of course, so good versus Bio with that splash, but not if the Marines are on top of him so quickly. This hatchery is going to go down, and Franscar, well, not the best spot. You can't really deal with this Bio, but it's not like Schapism can really push it. Oh my god. Did you not realize? Okay, there we go. I was going to say, did you not realize you didn't kill the drone, but yeah, with some Lurkers out, it's not like Schapism's got a lot of freedom to move around.
No, but he's got a really nice concave of those Lurkers, and 2 Lurkers can't deal with this much Bio if they're spread out in a good way. So that's one of the things I see with new Starbow players is that when they face Lurkers, they just A-move against them, and they're just horribly slaughtered because they don't know how to spread and make the concave.
Yeah, we saw. Well, not even just new Starbow players. We were seeing that a lot with some of the veteran Starbow players as well. But double starports. This is a little bit interesting.
He's probably going to use that for mass science vessel, which is incredibly strong. If you can get like a big number of science vessels up versus a Zerg, you basically just won.
Yeah,
unless he gets like
is kind of crazy.
It is really, really strong. So so that's going to be very important. So he's going to be Schapism is actually going to be in a little bit of a crucial phase here, where he tries to contain the Zerg player and gets a good number of science vessels up. And if he can get through that part of the mid game, then he should set himself up for a very good late game. But Franscar really has to start. You see, he's getting a Spire, so he needs to start making Scourges after a while and try to snipe off as many science vessels as he possibly can, keeping those numbers down. Ooh, wow, Schapism moving in at the perfect time where Franscar unburrowed his Lurkers and has to pull back again. This is actually really important for Schapism because he was not just pushing Franscar back, but he was preventing a pretty big attack too with a lot of Lurkers. And Franscar, again, now doesn't feel too safe to move out anymore like he did before.
I was going to lose everything here. He's not paying attention. Stims away, but the Lurker's going to burrow and...
Oh, so many hits, so many dead Marines.
He could save the medics at least. I'm not sure what he's doing here. I think he just got pathfinding AI done.
He's just calling it a kamikaze unit and just saying, let's go. But yeah.
Here we go. So this is what I wanted to talk about. This is what I'm really excited about. Defense Matrix is being researched right now, guys. It's an ability the medics have. If you remember StarCraft Brood War, it used to be like on the science vessel. It's going to give basically an HP shield to Marines, whatever it targets. But the thing was before, like last time in Season 1, it was so expensive. It seriously cost like 100 energy or something silly. Like you couldn't use it effectively. But you guys recently lowered the cost down to 35, so I'm really curious to see how this comes into effect.
Yeah, I've seen some really good usage of it, especially, matrixing the front Marines versus Lurkers. He should be using it right now, but he's not. But I think he's going to break this anyway. This is a very interesting map when it comes to expansion. Ooh, sorry.
He's gonna lose so many medics here. What a waste. What a waste.
Yeah, this is bad. And Franscar's gonna defend just fine. Zerglings and Lurkers picking it off. And it's very difficult for Schapism to do anything at this point. He's gonna try and expand, but he's actually just moving back again.
You know what would be amazing? Can I suggest a change for Starbow? That
Sure.
would make every Terran player so happy.
Go for it.
Can you make it so buildings can land on fucking Zerglings, please? Oh my god, it makes no sense that one Zergling can deny a base. Like, seriously. Seriously.
But it makes so much sense that command center can't land on the burrowed Zerglings.
Really? It makes about as much sense as you explaining north versus left to me through Google.
I was just kidding. Yeah, it makes no sense whatsoever. But I don't know. There might be some changes with Overlord creep, and that would make actually having burrow Zerglings be kind of crucial. So we'll see. We'll think about it. We'll talk about it.
I was stupid, but the small drop over here on the right side of the map is going to get cleaned up pretty quickly by those lurkers. Nice response. It's worth noting too, responding to Barbarous Fungus in chat saying, I don't know how to even play Starbow. Is it a mod you play on Battle.net? Well, first off, man, you get timed out because you put a link. Sorry about that. It's just the bot's going to work. But this is a free-to-play game. You do it through the StarCraft 2 arcade. That's it. Pretty simple. You don't have to have Heart of the Swarm or anything like that. You just go to the arcade, type in Starbow, and have at her. There's more information, of course, on starbowmod.com. It's a much more detailed way to get into it.
Yeah, if you want a ladder, you want to use that. But yeah, if you just type Starbow in the arcade, you get tons of Starbow maps you can play on. And if you go to the Starbow chat channel on either EU or NA, there's usually some players there as well. But most players now hang out in the ladder. The ladder client we have has a chat function, and a lot of people there just use the chat function to find games, even if they don't want to actually play ranked games, because they're both NA and EU players all together. So that's kind of nice.
Okay, so Ventral Sacks are coming out. That's kind of whatever. I'm really liking the Plague coming out really quick, though. Plague, for those who don't know, it's like fungal growth without the sucky part. It does a lot of friggin' damage. It blankets in an AoE, but it doesn't root anything. But we do have a Radiate for the Science Vessels, too. As we see it going down, this causes them to basically deal AoE damage to anything nearby them. Dark Swarm's going down as well. For those who don't know what this does, I tried to describe it before, but we got a little bit busy. Units inside a Dark Swarm take no range damage whatsoever. So Marines, they might be able to see a lurker, but they can't really do much about it. The only thing that's killing the lurkers right now is the Irradiates.
Yes, and Schapism is trying to get out as many Science Vessels as he can, trying to target down the Defilers, but some really nice Dark Swords from Franscar is going to deny this base yet again. And Schapism is having the hardest time ever to get a third base going on this game. Well, in the meantime, Franscar has been getting both a third and a fourth base, utilizing the interesting geometry of this map to take as many expansions as possible. So it's going to be very interesting to see if we can see some of that Plague. By the way, I love that explanation. By the way, Plague is what did you say? It was fungal without the sucky parts?
Yeah,
No.
I mean, fungal got toned down so hardcore. It's really not that good anymore. But Plague hits hard. It'll take you down to 1 health. It can't kill them, but boy, is it a pain to deal with. Now, we do have Scourges out, which are a really big deal as well, to deal with the Science Vessels. These are the Kamikaze units. I believe you guys remove the splash from them entirely now, right?
Yes, but they have a tiny ability which makes that they deal a little bit damage over time to units that are close by. It's just a tiny little thing. It doesn't really matter that much. It's just something that's kind of...
Wow, hang on, Franscar. He's taking every freaking base on the map right now. Overlord's and also loaded with drops.
Big drop, yeah. And Schapism in the meantime is attacking this base again, and I think he's gonna lure the Scourges into flying into the Marines. He wants to, he's trying to get the Scourges to go into the Marines, but he senses something is going on. It might be the cast of Rifkin and Cepheus in his ears telling him that there's a dropping. No, I'm just kidding. But
there's a delay on stream, so it's like some pretty sick like future telling.
I guess he's spotted it. Okay, now he's got a Marine spotting it, so he really should be going back now.
Yeah, heading back towards the main. I mean, the thing with these drops, guys, is you never see this in regular StarCraft 2 because it's not that efficient, but in Starbow, it's going to be pretty damn good. Wow, those barracks are like the worst, ugliest SimCity I've ever seen in my life. Anyways, there's a Dark Swarm to protect. There's Irradiates come down immediately on top of the Lurkers. They start spreading out, but there might just be too many Irradiates. Every single unit here is pretty much guaranteed to die.
There's so many Science Vessels. He didn't even need to bring the army back. He just brought the Science Vessels back almost. Well, he needs to kill off these couple of Zerglings at the end, but...
This also exposes the base up here to the north. That third base compromised. SCVs are pulled for this, but the Lynx should be able to knock this down. They do have adrenal glands.
Why didn't he not lift it off? There was like no anti-air units. Then the plague goes off.
Yeah, okay, so this is what the plague looks like, guys. It's red, deals a lot of damage. It can't kill units, but it takes them to 1 HP.
I love third players who are so good at having irradiated defilers and just spending all their energy before they die. That's such a good counter micro to being irradiated.
Yeah.
Man, more dropping coming, more zerglings. He's got cracklings now, and cracklings in your main base is just so... Wow, he still hasn't... There's still cracklings in his main base, and he's not dealing with them.
Well, there's also anabolic boost coming out in a second here, too. For those who don't know, it basically gives Ultralisks a bit of an extra kick. A small metabolic boost for Ultras, I guess you could call it. Or, sorry, anabolic synthesis, my bad. One of the Overlords goes down, actually, before it loads a single Zergling. Kind of sucks, but the Ultralisks at this point in the game, I mean, they're not the Ultras you're used to seeing. These are going to be different Ultralisks, guys. They're smaller, they're more maneuverable, they're a little more efficient, but they also don't have splash.
They're fast. They're so fast.
Yeah. No big Kaiser blades, though. I kind of missed that.
Yeah, no splash, yeah. So yeah, Schapism is just stuck. He has no income at the moment, pretty much. He's scraping off of 2 bases still, but the 3rd base is just never going to come up. In the meantime, Franscar is just taking the entire map and dropping and dropping.
Yeah, this is looking worse and worse for Schapism. I mean, it's getting to the point where Franscar doesn't need to win in one decisive blow. He's just going to keep bullying his opponent down through economy, through his own income being superior. So many lurkers I love here in the main. There's a lot of turrets that are coming down for the Overlords, but perhaps a little too late. Where are those science vessels, man? There they are, coming back home. Enough irradiate to eventually clean this up, but this is so messy.
He saw this with the science vessels, so he could have responded more quickly. Could have even irradiated some of the Overlords, I think, because when they start dealing splash damage to each other, they go down really fast. But now he's gonna have to use it on the lurkers, and he's gonna have to lift off most of his base as well. Ultra's coming in on the front. Yeah, this is pretty much it. This is the last stand for Terran. Can they defend against the Zerg swarms?
I'm really mad. Okay, finally we see some defense matrix to start up this game. Oh my god, 23 minutes in, but to very little avail. Scorches do pop off. GG is going to be called. And Franscar, ladies and gentlemen, will lock down game number 1 in the semifinals match.